a good thing.
I'm just such a homebody. I'm just always here.
Not a terrible way to live. Okay, you guys, we're I'm very excited about this one. I'm really, really excited to announce our American Business Spotlight, the next company that we're working with, pledging their support to us. You guys need to like totally support them. RhinoWare is their name. Okay. If you don't know, if you've never heard of RhinoWare, they're a lockdown system. It's like a mechanism that goes on a door that makes it a safe room, that makes the room a safe room at a moment's notice. It's the coolest thing ever, right? So it's very simple to use. Like a kindergartner, a 3-year-old could do this. It's veteran owned and operated, established in 2019. They were created for the sole purpose of protecting the lives of kids, workers, worshipers. It could be used in classrooms, offices, conference rooms, bathrooms. You could use it in your home. You can use it in schools. I want to have this put into my daughter's school. They've put these in a lot of schools across Texas. They're in schools all over the country, but they're just the coolest thing. I just love them so much. I think it's just really neat. And Mock I think you have a demonstration.
I'm going to share like just from their website, just a part of the YouTube video demonstration that they have. Cause this is, the ultimate goal here is to, in the event of an active shooter, to be able to lock yourself in a room that cannot be penetrated by a shooter. Cause I asked the question to this guy,
can it be shot?
You shoot this down, and you cannot.
Well, you can, but and the mechanism itself, it's the way that it is. It's like it's a certain kind of steel that if you shoot it, it'll come back the bullet will come back at the person that's shooting and probably hit them in the groin.
Which I just love that. I love that.
Going to happen. Yeah.
So just let me begin so people can get an idea of how simple this is. So this is the thing that goes on a door. It's ADA compliant and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And listen to how easy and watch how easy it is to engage.
So the point of action is right here. You simply lock it down just like that. And once it's locked down, there's no getting in the door. Now, with regard to fire and life safety code compliance, single motion egress, which means if an event of a fire, there should be only one single motion to open the door. So you simply turn even though the Rhino is locked down, and so nobody can get in, you can with one single motion open the door.
That's it.
That's amazing.
It's so easy. It's so fantastic.
So easy.
Yeah. So I'm super excited about this one. So you guys need to go to our website, chicksontheright.com/sponsors, click on the banner for American Business Spotlight. You can find Andy there. Andy is the main point of contact, and RhinoWare. And you guys support this one because this is a great one that you may want to look into. Somebody like the security officer at your child's school, your grandchild's school, that could possibly be interested in this. I think it would be a great thing. So go to chicksontheright.com/sponsors, click on American Business Spotlight banner, and then check out RhinoWare. Every school
is something to every school does gather your like if you have a bunch of parents that and you all are concerned about your kids' safety at a school, get together and go to the school, your security resource officer or the school board, and say, here is a simple, very cost effective. It's a few $100s a door.
I think it's like
much at all.
I think it's like $600 a door is what
that's
being, which is. Right. Yeah. Nothing. And here's what I find very interesting. So many government buildings already have these. And I asked the question, I'm like, why don't the schools have them?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So a lot of these government yahoos already have them on doors in their buildings that we've paid for, probably with taxpayer money. So it's just interesting that schools don't, like our children are not protected. Just drives me insane. So if we could somehow do this, that would be amazing. So definitely check that out. And, talk to school resource officers, talk to school security people, see if we can get this going. So yeah.
And when you go to our website, to the American Business Spotlight, and you go and visit them and see that whole video in full, you'll be like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. This should be in every classroom in the country. And this is how you harden schools. I mean, this is just such an easy way to make kids not as much of a target.
It's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Really? Check it out.
Yeah. All right. So we have lots of headlines to get to before we get to some videos. And the first is that story about Carlee Russell being abducted because she saw a toddler walking alongside an interstate and decided to pull over, and then she got kidnapped. The whole thing was made up, and she has now admitted as much. And so her attorney read her statement to the press yesterday. She is not giving interviews to the police, even though they had expected to talk to her. She was like, no, I'm just going to release a statement through my attorney. The attorney read the statement, which essentially didn't at all address her motivation for doing this, but simply said, yes, she acted alone. There was no abductor. There was no child there. This whole story was made up. She completely made up this entire story. Her ex-boyfriend, I suppose, is now saying he feels just as blindsided as we all do by the story. And I'm not seeing anywhere yet that she's going to face charges. I hope that she does, because what the hell? You can't just do that. You know what I mean?
Well, people are getting away with this stuff. I just don't understand. People are just making up stories. And why is everybody so mentally ill in this country?
So mentally ill.
Right. And she was just making stuff up like this. Why are people so attention starved? Yeah. I mean, she had a family that seemed to love her.
Yeah.
She has a mom and a dad and like a boyfriend. It's like, what is your problem, lady?
And like a lovely home and seemingly a fine life. I don't know what the deal was. And that's, again, there's no motive listed. She just said, yeah, I did this. Bye. I mean, like, you don't get to do that. And the problem is that if this, all the people, I just think about all the people who rushed out to help in the search, who sent $63,000 to a GoFundMe for this. And so I'm just thinking,
what happens to that money?
What happens when that is real? And then people are less inclined to help in real situations.
Right.
She's ruined that. I mean, she's the Peter Cries Wolf girl.
I think people are more and more inclined to not help already.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I think that's already happening. But what happens to that money? What happens to the $63,000? It's insanity.
Well, yesterday I had read that they had not moved to return any of the money because it was still an ongoing investigation. So I hope that now that the investigation part is done, like there's nothing to investigate because she made it up. Like all of that money should be returned.
Every single
if it
penny.
isn't, oh my God, I would be
every single penny. Can you imagine being somebody who gave?
Yeah, Are you ever going to do it again?
Never.
That's the thing. Why would she? I can't.
Yeah, I know. Serenity now, right?
Serenity now. The reason for my name today is because Dick Durbin has been diagnosed for a third time in a year with COVID. He's
like quadruple
vaxxed and jabbed in every possible way.
I'm shocked and dismayed considering that he's like quintuple vaxxed.
It's amazing.
It is.
Who could have ever predicted that?
I know. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked, you guys.
And then Crazy. Peter Hotez, that horrible, bearded weirdo,
the one that goes against RFK. Yeah.
Yes. He's now all up in arms about Barbenheimer and the fact that everybody is rushing to see the Barbie movie and the Oppenheimer movie. And oh my God, isn't anybody worried about catching COVID? No.
Right.
No, we're not.
I did a post on that yesterday, and you would not believe the sheep that were answering him. They were responding to him, pleading for people to be careful at, movies and talking about the N95 mask. And there were doctors. There were other doctors who were like, I got a pink one.
You can They're still masking?
Yes. You can get a pink and a lavender N95. And I'm like, here are the doctors not to go to ever in your life.
Right.
Are these jackholes? Yeah. I mean, you would not believe it. They're still into this. It's crazy. Even after all the stuff that we know. They're still doing this. Yeah.
Just wow.
Thank you, but no.
There was this horrible story. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the singer Tori Kelly. She's really, really talented. She is in the hospital right now in serious condition due to blood clots in her legs and on her lungs. And so, it's not good. Like, she's in serious condition out of nowhere. She's young. She can't be more than 35.
Didn't she just lose her husband? Am I making
she
that
did?
Up?
I didn't even know she was married.
Am I making that up? I feel like she just lost her husband. Did she not, you guys? Maybe I'm
lost him to what?
I feel like her husband just died.
What in the world?
I don't want to say that incorrectly.
She's 30. No, she's married and her husband is alive.
Okay, all right. There's another country singer that her husband.
She's not country. Tori's not country.
Tori's not country? Okay.
No.
I thought she was country. Okay. Never mind.
I don't know who you're mixing her up with.
I'm mixing her up with some other blonde country
Kelly
singer.
Pickler.
Kelly Pickler. Yes. Thank you, Nicole. I don't know. Why do I get those two confused? They look a lot. Is it because they look a lot alike?
No, they don't look alike. They look nothing alike.
They look nothing alike. They're both blonde. I don't know. I'm just getting the blondes confused like I do on Fox. All the blondes look alike to me.
No, they are completely
Kelly
different
Pickler.
people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Kelly Pickler. She lost her husband to suicide, didn't she?
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyways, Tori, what's her name?
Kelly
has
Tori
blood
Kelly.
clots. Tori Kelly has blood clots. Yeah.
Which is not a typical thing for a 30-year-old to be worrying about.
No, it's not. It's
not. And I don't know what her status in terms of being vaccinated is. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you, but it just is weird, right? Like,
yeah,
that is just weird.
It's kind of like, the Jamie Foxx thing when he came out and he talked to everybody. I kind of wish that people would be more open about.
And maybe she will be. I don't know. She might be.
Because Jamie Foxx said nothing about anything.
Yeah, his video was so weird. It was so weird that people were like, that's a body double. Like, that's not even Jamie Foxx. There's no way that's the same person.
He didn't look very healthy. But I mean, I just wish he was so vague in what was wrong with him. And I wish he was not so vague. And I don't know where that vagueness stems from. I think
it wasn't even vague. It was just he flat did not say what was wrong with him.
Exactly.
I don't get that. Like, why not just say it?
Exactly. Why can't people just say what's going on? What is the deal with that? Like, are they protecting something or someone? Like, what is going on? Why can't you just say what's the deal?
Right? Just so strange.
If it's a medical condition, are you embarrassed by that medical condition? Like, what is it? Because I'm sure that other people have suffered from the same medical condition. So
you might be helping.
Exactly. It's just your body. You know what I mean? It's like the body does certain things. We all go through certain. So why are you doing that? Why are you being so obtuse?
Yeah, I just do not understand that at all. Mm-hmm. But I do understand that everybody needs to learn about how adding precious metals to your financial portfolio might be of help to you. By the way, have I mentioned in a while, I know we talk about Birch Gold a lot because they're our BFFs when it comes to educating people on investing in precious metals. But one of the reasons that I like them so much, in addition to the fact that they are like super, super good at educating folks, is the fact that Ron Paul and Ben Shapiro also spokespeople for Birch Gold. And I feel like both of them are much smarter than I am. And so when I see much smarter people also like believing in and advocating for the same things that we are, then I feel like, okay, then
also,
we're good here.
Much richer. Yeah, that's the way I look at it too. If they're much smarter and much richer, I'm going to do a lot of what they do. Yeah.
And the thing about precious metals is that they hold their value no matter what the market is doing. And sometimes they way exceed market value. Right. And so that's why it's always a safe bet to at least have a little bit of diversification into precious metals in your portfolio. And there's really, really easy ways to transfer either part of or all of IRAs that you may have into Birch Gold's investment kits that include precious metals. And there's no obligation when you just text the word chicks to 989898. All you're going to get is information. That's it. And what you do with that information is entirely up to you. They just want you to understand what you might be missing out on. So if you want to learn more, and again, that's all you're doing is learning, just text the word chicks to 989898. In other news, there is talk of from Business Insider, which I don't have a lot of faith in. It's kind of a rag. But Business Insider did a whole story yesterday about finding out who two of the buyers of Hunter Biden's art were. And one of them is a big Democrat donor, friend of the family, who just happened to be put on some commission for protecting American artifacts overseas or something by Joe Biden within 8 months of buying this art.
Because how much is the art? How much did that individual pay for the art?
I don't remember how much that person paid. I know one of the buyers spent $875,000 on like 11 different pieces. Okay. And then this other buyer spent like $500,000. So, and how Business Insider found out this information, I don't know. These are the same people that wrote up the big, like Dave Portnoy raped people or whatever. So I don't know that they're hugely reliable, but I thought it was interesting that this piece came out right now in the midst of all of this Hunter Biden hullabaloo.
Yeah.
So you can read that at Business Insider if you have interest in that. And then we also have to talk about this weird drowning by the Obama's chef.
Yeah.
That was not a story I was expecting to see yesterday.
Yeah, I know. It was really weird. He was the sous chef in the White House. And they're like, and that's another thing. They have a chef.
Oh, yeah.
They have a chef, you guys. And then they're like, you come with us. And then he had a wife and a daughter that he left behind.
No, he had two twin boys.
Did he have two? Oh, I thought he had a wife. I thought he had a daughter.
I think he had older twins.
Really? Okay. Well, then I'm wrong about that. So he had kids. Plural. That totally sucks. Okay. So 8 feet of water. It's a pond, basically.
Behind the big $35 million estate.
And right. And
where is it?
At Martha's Vineyard.
Yes.
And he's paddleboarding. Okay.
By himself.
I mean, right. Okay. I mean, listen, I'm around swimmers a lot. So if you can swim, I mean, listen, swimmers can drown because anybody can panic. So this could happen. I mean, it's not like it can't happen. Anybody can drown, you guys. But it's just when you have a paddleboard, that makes me kind of go, that's weird. Because I've been paddleboarding and that can be used as a flotation device, sort of. Because if you need to hold on to something and then like kick your way back to shore, I don't know. I don't think you can have a riptide in a pond.
I don't think you can. I just have never heard of that.
Kind of weird to me. Yeah. Anyway, the whole thing is a little bit weird. I want to see or hear what's in the autopsy. Like what happened? Did he have a heart attack? Did something happen?
Maybe he had blood clots. Because again, who knows? You never know what happens. And
he could swim.
It's a weird story. And we know he could swim because
there are videos
we saw videos on his Instagram of him swimming.
Right. And he wouldn't have gotten into why would you have gotten into the water and paddleboarded if you can't swim? But yes,
by yourself.
Yeah, you just wouldn't have. That's just dumb. So he wouldn't have done that, I don't think. And especially with the wife and kids, it's just dumb. And there are videos of him swimming. People have put that out on Twitter and whatnot. But anyway, and he was a guy. He was in great shape, tremendous shape.
Yeah. So, I mean, the conspiracy theories are just blowing up social media right now. People are like, oh, I heard he was writing a book and he knew all the Obama secrets because he was basically like a member of their family. And so he was and so they had to get rid of him. And I mean, I don't know. And I've heard theories that he was like Obama's gay lover. I mean, everybody is like going off the deep end about this.
He's in his 40s. Good looking dude in his 40s. Yeah. So it's just, what a shame, right?
The autopsy. That is if we ever hear about it. And who knows if we actually will.
Right.
And then there's this crazy panic in Texas and Illinois and a handful of other states because there's apparently like India has put restrictions on rice exports. And so now people are panicking that there's going to be a shortage of rice and they are like fighting each other in Costco's and
here in Texas.
Crazy.
In Texas, that's
in the
happening.
World.
Right. I know.
Don't eat rice.
I said this to you yesterday and I'm like, look, people are fighting over rice. And Mock's response, this is typical Polish girl. She's like, eat potatoes.
Just like have another
like
side.
What's it like? It's not the only carbohydrate. Like eat a potato. What's the problem? Like, I don't eat rice, I eat potatoes.
I just feel like this is not the thing to fight over.
It is kind of weird.
Pick another side.
But it does put a little red flag off in my head where I'm just like, okay, anytime I see a food shortage, I get a little bit wigged out.
Yeah.
I don't like that. People, and Candy said just the beginning. I totally agree. I don't like that. I don't like it when people can't get a certain type of food in this country. It just doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, that doesn't seem right in America. That's not something
Right.
that's supposed to be happening in America.
I don't like it.
Yeah, the panic though. I mean, it's just like I get toilet paper, although even that, I was just like, you know what? You can also use tissue. So when people were losing their shit over toilet paper, I was just
no pun intended.
Kleenex aisle,
right?
And I was just buying boxes of tissue, and I was like, you realize this is actually the same thing. It's just in a different shape. Yeah. It's not hard. Like people just need to calm down. And the same thing with rice. Just pick another side. That's all.
I suppose it's just, it's still a little weird, you guys, just bringing that up because it's still a little weird because we're starting to see food shortages, which, I mean, I feel like we talked about this several months ago. the food shortage thing, and now it's starting to happen. So just keep your eyes open, because people are fighting over rice now. That's all.
In America. That's where we are.
Yeah.
And then lastly, before we get into some videos, I know we mentioned that Britney Spears has a book coming out, a memoir.
You're going to read
about
it.
her life. Now there is a 4-month delay. It was supposed to come out in October, and now there is a 4-month delay because Justin Timberlake and Colin Farrell have apparently said they will sue if certain passages of that book are not removed.
I forgot entirely that she, did the hibbity jibbity with Colin Farrell. Justin Timberlake, I remember, because they were denim on denim together.
Right. Double denim.
Double denim together. But Colin Farrell, and I was like, dang, he was hot back in the day. So that.
And then I was like, hey, what's that movie called where he's in a phone booth the whole time?
And we were like, I don't
think of it.
And we're Googling it, and we were like, it's called Phone Booth, which is pretty apropos. Yeah. It's a good name for a movie where there's
what was the name of that movie? I just can't.
Yeah. I do think a 4-month delay is a little bit much, considering that we wrote our entire book in 3 months.
Yeah.
Like,
but maybe the passages that they want taken out completely change, like whole chapters. Yeah. Who knows?
Plus, we weren't writing about guys we had sex with.
Right.
Fair there's point. That.
I mean, honestly, that would have been a very short chapter for me.
I'm going to go ahead and just stay quiet on that.
Moving on.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good cue. That's a good timing to get right into our videos. We need to talk also about Texas, because Texas, now I know I've been saying that the solution to illegal migrants crossing the Rio Grande is simply piranhas and sharks. I've been saying this for a long time, and gators. Governor Abbott decided maybe that's a little much, right? So instead, he commissioned these fantastic buoys, like a long buoy system of these giant thingies that just sort of float in the middle of the Rio Grande that are not climbable, or if they are climbable, it takes a long ass time. And but
they apparently have things on them that can hurt people, is what people are claiming.
Right. And so it's brilliant. I mean,
it's
like the next best thing to piranhas, alligators, and sharks.
What's the problem with this? I don't see what the problem is. And I heard Beto on the radio the other day. I think he was on MSNBC, so I heard it. And I'm a masochist, so I listen to this stuff. Why he's still talking, I have no idea. And he was saying there's blood on Abbott's hands.
Oh my God.
He's killing people. And I'm like, the solution is don't come. That's the solution. Like, why is this? Is this so difficult for people? Like, just don't come. You don't have to come here illegally.
Right. There's a really easy way to not get torn apart by a buoy.
Right. Don't swim across the river to come here illegally. That's the solution. And he's like blaming all these like children's deaths on Abbott. And it's just absurd what the Democrats are saying.
And the queen of absurdity, KJP, was asked about this. There's 2 clips of her answering questions about this. I'll just let the whole thing play in one kind of run on, because she's ridiculous.
The only person, the one person that is sowing chaos is Governor Abbott. Oh, that's what he continues to do, political stunts in an inhumane way. He's actively undermining our border enforcement plan, which, again, has the lowest level of unlawful border crossings in over 2 years. He's making this more difficult. And so he's not operating in good faith here. That's my answer.
You're so full of crap.
Governor Abbott has now responded to the administration, responded to the Department of Justice's letter saying, Texas will see you in court, Mr. President. Your response, and can you give us a sense of what comes next here, how quickly this may play out?
So I'm going to let the Department of Justice speak to this. They've been very clear last week that they also will see Governor Abbott in court for his unlawful actions. We've been very clear about that.
Unlawful.
And we have also said that when when we moved forward with a plan, right, a plan of deterrence, diplomacy, and also enforcement with how we were going to move forward after Title 42 was lifted, we actually saw the numbers go down. We actually saw the president's plan working. And what you see the governor doing is dangerous and unlawful, and it's actually hurting the process. It's hurting the process of what we're trying to do. And instead of wanting to, or undermining, I should say, instead of coming to the table and trying to figure out a way to work together, he continues to do this really cruel, unjust, inhumane ways of moving forward with a system that has been broken for decades.
Cruel and unjust. Meanwhile, they've got traffickers coming over our border. How dare she call him cruel and unjust? And then unlawful? You've allowed 6 million people pour over our border illegally. And you call him unlawful? I mean, listen, there are things that I don't like about Governor Abbott. But to call him unlawful when you've allowed that many people to come over our border because you want Democrat voters,
and you're not enforcing the laws that are already on the books.
Exactly. You're just allowing them to come over, and you're allowing criminals to come over and traffickers to come over, and you're allowing women and children to be raped and murdered, and in the process, you're allowing that to happen, and men too. But women and children, allowing that to happen. And you're allowing the flow of traffickers to come over, and you're just ignoring that completely. And then liberals will say, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. That's conspiracy.
Well, and my favorite was when she said, why won't Governor Abbott just come to the table and talk to us? Really? I mean, there is no way that Governor Abbott, I know he has sent letter upon letter. He has tried to have conversations directly with Joe Biden. He's never heard by that White House. So now she's going to be like, why won't he just talk to us? Why won't he just come to the table?
Yeah,
because you never invited him to the table. You never let him come.
There is no table.
Right. There's no table. God.
I know. It's the gaslighting. It's unreal, isn't it? It just continues every day. It just gets worse and worse. These people. It's unbelievable.
Cindy, thank you. Cindy says, good morning, ladies. Have a wonderful day. I have a new pet Flemish rabbit. She is 5 months old and will get 18 to 22 pounds, naming her Daisy.
Oh my God, I love that. That is so sweet. Did you see there's this town, there's a neighborhood in Florida. I almost made it my whack today, but it's not even whack. It's like Mock's dream. There is a neighborhood in Florida, y'all, and I can't remember the name of the neighborhood. I think it's close to Fort Lauderdale, but this lady bred rabbits, and then she left a couple of her rabbits there. The neighborhood, it's like a suburb. The neighborhood is overrun with rabbits. They have more than 100 rabbits that are just running all over the neighborhood, running amok.
Oh my gosh.
And they're sweet little fuzzy rabbits that are just running around. And some of the neighbors absolutely hate it, but then other neighbors are kind of like, this is all right. And if their grandkids go out, it's like Mock would be in heaven.
Oh my God, I would love it.
It's a little suburb. And I'm thinking of you because if you're a rabbit lover, you would love it.
I don't understand why Cindy wouldn't name a rabbit Mock Durbin, but whatever.
Daisy's so much better.
It is so much better. Yeah. Okay, we also need to talk about, because yesterday we mentioned that Devin Archer, Hunter Biden's ex-best friend, is going to be testifying in front of the House committee about the fact that Joe Biden was on a whole bunch of those business calls. And so we didn't know yesterday when that was going to take place. And now we're getting some clarity about that. First, I'm going to show you a clip of KJP answering the question, was Joe Biden on the phone call? How are you guys answering this question? So she answers that question, and it's interesting how the wording has shifted a little bit. And then we'll have Martha McCallum giving the update about this coming hearing that is going to be happening on Monday. Here's KJP.
Comer today says that the Oversight Committee, has evidence that the president in the past communicated directly with foreign business associates of his son Hunter Biden many times. Curious if the White House and the president still stand behind his comment that he's never been involved and has never even spoken to his son about his business.
So I've been asked this question a million times. The answer is not going to change. The answer remains the same. The president was never in business with his son. I just don't have anything else to add.
Remember how it used to be Joe Biden never never talked to Hunter about his business dealings. And now it's just very slightly shifted.
Yeah, now it's like he wasn't in the room or something like that.
Now he wasn't in business with his son.
Right. Yeah.
So next, what is it going to be? Yeah. Well, he wasn't in like 12 businesses with his son.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be, I cannot wait for this guy. I want to hear this guy's testimony so bad.
Oh my God, same.
I cannot wait.
Awesome.
I have to yell at my husband to get the puppy out of here. Hold on one second.
Okay, please do. In the meantime, I'll let Martha McCallum talk about what's going on with Devon Archer and when this hearing is taking place. Here it is.
Today, Hunter's right-hand man, Devon Archer, we can now report will testify, will give an interview, is the way to say this actually, from Capitol Hill 1 week from today. We just got the date on this very important moment in this story because, of course, Devon Archer knows all about the Biden family business because he was there. He was involved in nearly all of it. Here is Hunter Biden and Devon Archer playing golf with then vice president. Lots of photos of them with different business associates from some of these deals. Now, the president has repeatedly denied literally any connection or understanding at all about Hunter's what some would call odd business dealings with Ukraine and Chinese executives. Archer can likely shed a lot of light on this situation and potentially blow the thing wide open through a source connected to him. He's saying that he wants to tell the truth. So Miranda Devine with a big report on this today in the New York Post, saying that he will testify and that he will put the vice president right in the middle of this, because he says that Hunter put then Vice President Dad Joe on the phone with business associates in front of him at least 24 times. He will testify, according to this report, that he watched that happen. He would put the speakerphone in the middle of the table at one of these meetings and connect the then vice president, according to this report, say, hey, this is Nikolai and Vadim, who, of course, is Laszewski, the head of Burisma and one of his top lieutenants. So this is a very big development today. Karl Rove is standing by as politically in the mix here. RFK Jr., very interesting, because, of course, he's mounting a challenge to President Biden in this race. He came out with some very strong words about this investigation, saying this.
The issues that are now coming up are worrying enough that we really need a real investigation of what happened. I mean, you have Burisma, which is this notoriously corrupt company that paid out apparently $10 million
Anyway.
Okay, so you go to any of the other networks, like you go to CNN, MSNBC, because I turned to them last night. They're all talking about Trump. They're not talking about this. This. I'm serious.
Wow.
They're all talking about DeSantis's, racist education program.
Oh my God.
That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about this stuff. They don't want to. They can't bear to talk about this. This is news. I mean, this is a big deal.
This is news.
Because if you just imagine if this were Trump, their heads would be. My God, they impeached him over a phone conversation, a phone call. He was impeached over that. And this is actually, he's doing something. Biden is actually doing, if this comes to fruition, this is actually impeachable. It's like, what is even going on? And they're not
I hope for Devon's sake that he's got a lot of security. That's all I can say about Devon
exactly.
Archer.
He's going to drown in a pond somewhere. Good Lord.
Also, speaking of Hunter, and you guys remember the big letter that was signed by 51 CIA people, including Clapper and Panetta and Brennan, all these people. So Caitlin Collins had Leon Panetta on her show the other day, and she was saying, hey, remember that letter that you were a signatory on? Yep. Now that we know that the Hunter Biden laptop was obviously very, very real, do you have regrets about signing the letter? You will not believe the spin.
So 3 years ago, you signed your name to a letter alongside dozens of other intelligence officials saying, that the Hunter Biden email saga the letter said all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. You noted that the people who signed it said you didn't know for sure, of course, what it was. But given what we know now, do you wish that you hadn't signed that letter or been involved in it?
No, not at all. I signed that letter for one reason, which was to make the American people aware that the Russians deliberately were engaged in a disinformation campaign in the United States and trying to impact on our election and trying to impact on our ability to have free and fair elections. That's why I signed that letter. Oh. And very frankly, I have seen no evidence to the contrary that Russia has not engaged in that kind of disinformation campaign.
Right. But we just haven't seen evidence affirming that either.
I mean, good for her for pointing that out because damn.
I can't believe she did that. So I lied because I think you guys are all dumb.
I mean, maybe this wasn't Russian disinformation, but they do disinform.
Right.
And so I just want to make people aware of that.
So I just lied. I lied.
Oh my God.
Because I think you guys are a bunch of dumbasses. You're not smart enough to understand things. You guys are just the American people. You're so dumb. So I have to lie to you. It's for your own good.
God.
It's for your own good. Shut up.
Unbelievable.
God, the condescension. Just like take accountability for once. You losers.
Just wow.
It's unbelievable.
Anyway, so that's what's going on with Hunter. We'll obviously be following that very, very closely. And I will definitely be tuning in live on Monday because I want to see that stuff go down.
Me too. That's going to be lit, as the kids would say.
And I'm probably going to be doing it while I'm enjoying a very delicious, tasty glass of Field of Greens. So Field of Greens, you guys, from Brick House. This is what you take if you are not getting your daily allowance of fruits and vegetables. And I know you're not. Don't try to pretend for a second that you are getting your daily allowance of fruits and vegetables. It's almost impossible for a normal human to do that. But this is what it will give you all the vitamins and minerals and nutrients that you need from fruits and vegetables right in this green powder. You just take a scoopful, you put it in your water, you mix it up, and you have yourself a delicious, yummy, fantastic drink. And by the way, Field of Greens, every single ingredient is scientifically chosen to support your vital organs like your heart, your lungs, your kidneys, and others support your metabolism for energy, weight loss. It's good for all of those things. And you can get a 15% discount on your first order when you go to FOG Chicks. That's Field of Greens, FOGchicks.com. Get yourself the discount. Try it for yourself. I know green powder, that sounds horrible. I know. I thought the exact same thing. But then I tasted it and I was like, this is a fruity, delicious drink.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drink a lot of it.
Or the yellow stuff is like sweet tea. If you like the sweet tea. It's good.
So good. Okay, moving on. I think we mentioned yesterday that the Biden administration, not content to just go after your gas stoves, your air conditioners, your dishwashers. No, they want to also go after your water heaters. So they've got these new regulations that are going to take effect in 2029 that basically are going to make water heaters, whether they're electric or gas powered, more efficient, which of course translates to you're not going to have hot water. Okay. That's what that means. You're going to have lukewarm water at best. And if the government has anything to do about it. And so KJP was asked to justify this in her presser yesterday, and she struggled. Here it is.
So from this administration, we've seen them go after gas stoves, air conditioning units with regulation, refrigerators, washing machines, dishwashers, now water heaters. How many more home appliances will Americans eventually have to replace then because of regulation?
So just to be clear, when it comes to water heaters, and it is proposed, what has been put forward, and if it is enacted, it would not take it into effect until 2029.
So
that's better. That's better. Like you won't have to deal with the suckage, for several years now, just a handful of years. So, just calm down. It's not for a little while. It's not for a couple of years. So you guys just calm down. I mean, the suckage is coming, but you don't have to deal with it today.
Right.
So that makes it better somehow. What is that? Listen, deal with the rice shortage today. And then like in a couple of years, you can deal with the fact that you're not going to have any hot water. It's fine. Socialism, you guys. It's socialism. We're going to ease you into socialism and communism. It's fine. You're going to be fine.
God. And then, by the way, this is also, this climate craziness is taking place in other places too, like Canada. Trudeau has already imposed a carbon tax on the citizens of Canada. There was a moment in a town hall that he hosted where a woman talks about how her power bills have actually surpassed her mortgage payment. She is now a woman who should be retired, who should be done working completely, is working 75 hours a week and barely scraping by because of what they call their hydro bills. And this is because of the carbon tax that he imposes on power and electricity in Canada. So she is letting him have it very nicely, but she's very upset. And I just want you to listen to her story because it's very upsetting. And then his response, which is very, very similar to KJP just kind of blowing it off.
Stay and work 15 hours a day just so I don't lose my home.
Oh my God.
My hydro bill, I want to share with you. A single family home, one person who works hard with a brace up to her leg.
He doesn't care.
Partially paralyzed every single day. I put that brace on and I'm proud to be Canadian. But something's wrong with our system. And I have faith in you and God that you're going to work hard to fix it.
Why?
How do you explain to a woman how she's supposed to pay a hydro bill $1,085?
Oh my God.
And I did it. I've done it. I've done it for the last year. I lived without hydro for 5 days after paying a $680 bill. They showed up one day. I'm asking you, Mr. Trudeau, and here is my question today. How do you justify to a mother of 4 children, 3 grandchildren, physical disabilities, and working up to 15 hours a day, how is it justified for you to ask me to pay a carbon tax when I only have $65 left of my paycheck every 2 weeks to feed my family?
A lot of different elements come into your question. A number of them are provincial. Hydro bills are provincial, but as you point out, the federal government's decision to put a price on carbon is something that we have moved forward with, and it's one that is causing consternation amongst a broad range of people, and I understand, because carbon and carbon emissions and carbon is part of everything we do, whether it's heating our homes or getting back and forth from work, or in the products we buy.
So suck it up.
Yeah,
That's his message.
Yeah, suck it up, lady. This is coming to America. And her biggest mistake is having faith in him.
Yeah. Why would she have faith when he is the one that is putting this forward?
He doesn't care about her. He doesn't care about the people. It's interesting to me that those people actually think that he does. Like, he doesn't care about you. He cares about the money in his pocket. And all of these politicians are like that. And so many of our politicians are just like him. They're
because they
just
don't
like
suffer
him.
from their policies.
No.
They are not impacted by
They're
their
getting
policies.
rich off of us because we're stapling money to the clouds and them. It's like, you look at the Obamas. The Obamas are like all about climate change. Where the hell do they live? They live right there on the freaking ocean. If they
in
were
two places, Martha's Vineyard and Hawaii.
Right. If they were concerned about climate change, they wouldn't live on the ocean. They wouldn't live there. Until these people get away from like all these coastal properties, seriously, I can't take them seriously.
Yeah.
I can't. It's like they're such hypocrites, all of them. The Obamas are a perfect example of that. They have a personal chef. They live in these gajillion-dollar mansions. The reason is because they're just like the Al Gores of the world. Giant hypocrites. And I wonder how, I don't know, what's the word? Like climate change friendly their home is, their Martha's Vineyard home is.
There's no way it's green at all.
Yeah. How green is it? How green are their homes? I'd like to know. Seriously. I bet you my house is way more green than and I don't even give a crap about that stuff. Seriously. Think about that. I mean, they're all a bunch of raging hypocrites. They just want your money. That's all it is. It's a total grift.
And imagine the audacity that it takes for him to just say, I understand.
He doesn't.
The hell you do. You don't understand anything. You live in a wherever you live as the prime minister. I'm sure it's somewhere very hoity-toity. I mean, they don't ever get impacted by their policies. And that's what makes it so easy for them to enact them, because they know it won't affect them.
And how can you, like, in your brain, how can you process just the whole notion of taxing carbon?
I know. It's such nonsense.
Isn't it? It's just like, I don't know how anybody who has a shred of intelligence, how they can rationalize that in their brain. They're taxing carbon.
Well, and even all the, this whole push for electric vehicles and all that kind of stuff. We've got a woman that used to be a climate change activist from Britain who is talking to a council about what she's learned, how she's learned from, she had solar panels on her office building or whatever, and now she's learned exactly what's going on. And so in like a minute and a half, she completely destroys the entire proposition of EVs, of all of these renewable energy nonsense. She does that right after, you're going to see that right after Dana Perino wants everybody to be paying attention about the shift in language when it comes to climate change. And she's absolutely right about this. Just watch how the narrative the goalposts keep moving.
I do think that you should watch the shift on the left when they talk about climate change. So first, they're trying to persuade everyone to the position that extreme weather is climate.
Right.
And it started with the climate is changing, and then it changed to anyone who doesn't agree with the left's impact on climate change is a science denier. We went through that. And now it's Republicans are responsible for hurricanes and heat waves due to climate change until it becomes the wintertime, and then they're responsible for anything like a cold snap. And the media just repeats it as if it's proven fact. There's no scientific method at all. And the thing that really bothers me is about how much money we are spending, taxpayer dollars, and also regulations, the impact on our economic growth when it comes to climate change, because reduction of greenhouse gas emissions might be a notable goal. However, these wildfires in Canada are setting all of those goals back by many, many years. So it doesn't even matter what we do. If the wildfires are going to be run rampant because no one can manage the forest appropriately, then what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
Indeed.
And I bet Jessica was in the corner going, I don't agree with any of it.
Well, I've got some Jessica for you too, coming up here in just a moment. So if you thought this was going to be a Tarlov free zone today, I regret to inform you.
Yes.
It is not.
Yay!
But she gets what's coming to her. Okay, as promised, here is that woman who, again, she was for all intents and purposes, like a climate activist. Here is what she has learned.
Good evening. I've been a supporter of green energy and a keen environmentalist since my 20s. My office is solar powered, so I was mortified to discover that a single lithium mine causes millions of tons of waste every year laced with sulfuric acid and radioactive uranium, polluting the water supply for 300 years, not to mention the unacceptable human costs with child labour to mine cobalt. When I researched which solar panel to purchase, I did not for 1 minute consider it would be made by people trapped in razor wire enclosed labour camps, being exposed to large quantities of quartz dust which causes silicosis. Please note that the Ethical Consumer Organisation report that it is hard to avoid forced labour in the solar panel supply chain. Wind turbines, which last about 20 years, consume a colossal amount of resources and energy to manufacture and install, not to mention the blight and bird kill. They require diesel engines to start them up and then gallons of oil to lubricate, and they can't readily be recycled. Solar panels are also extremely difficult to recycle, costing more than the production of the panel. And lithium batteries pose steep challenges too. Add to that the human suffering, which we've all unwittingly been part of just by owning a laptop or mobile phone, which is minimal compared to what's required for an EV or solar farm. These so-called green or ethical solutions aren't solutions at all. Just very good marketing from the $1.5 trillion a year climate change industry. That's $4 billion a day, by the way. None of us can undo what's already been done, but what we can all do is make sure this doesn't escalate exponentially with fleets of unnecessary EVs and acres of solar farms eating up our precious farmland.
There's literally not a thing that we're doing right now that is actually good for the environment.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And all of these millennials are like, they think that it's the best thing ever. They're on a crusade to do all of this stuff because they've been brainwashed. They've been brainwashed at universities. And if they're not brainwashed at universities, they're brainwashed at the grad school level. Like I promise you they are. I see it happening. Mm-hmm. Like this is what they're so reactive about. This is what they're so adamant to do is climate. They're all about the climate. If they're conservative on every other issue, the climate is what they're liberal about. I see it.
And this is such basic information that just completely shreds every EV proponent, every proponent of solar panels, wind turbines. All of it is bullshit. All of it.
It is.
And so I see people are like, please share that clip. I am. It is going to be on our website within an hour after this show. So you can grab it from our website, chicksontheright.com.
Yep. It's a total scam, you guys.
It's a complete scam.
It is a money grift. It is a scam. They're scamming us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. It is going to be posted on our website, chicksontheright.com, within an hour after the show. All right. So moving on, we have addressed earlier this week. In fact, yesterday, I think is when we played the Kamala clip where she was like, yeah, that Florida slavery curriculum is like so super awful and terrible and it needs to be destroyed, blah, blah, blah. So Kamala was speaking basically out of her butt, right? Like she had no idea what she was talking about. There's absolutely no way she actually read the curriculum because none of it is problematic whatsoever. People are harping on this idea of slaves learned skills during slavery. And you can't say that, apparently. That is what's setting everybody off. And so Jessica Tarlov, as you might imagine, was one of those people who's just super mad about it, super mad about this whole curriculum. And she was on the 5 yesterday, during which time she got completely roasted. And it was sort of a beautiful thing. Here is that exchange.
Should be taught in every single middle school, high school in the United States. This is the best of the best created by African-American scholars in the state of Florida. And Kamala Harris is either dumb and didn't read anything about it, or she knows the truth and has decided to lie to the American people about it. I think it's disgusting. And why doesn't Kamala Harris want African-Americans and white Americans to know that Black Americans did learn skills despite being enslaved? Why doesn't she want them to learn that?
Jessica, do you think that she read the whole thing and just decided to cherry pick something?
I do think that she read the whole thing. And I think that it's an incredibly complex piece. When you look at the 191 passages, you have some good. And frankly, I'm just fundamentally uncomfortable with the sentence that Blacks benefited at all from this. And it made me think, as someone, obviously I'm not Black, but I'm Jewish. Would someone say about the Holocaust, for instance, that there were some benefits for Jews, right? While they were hanging out in concentration camps, you learned a strong work ethic, right? Maybe you learned a new skill.
Did you ever read Man's Search for Meaning? Vic Frankl talks about how you had to survive in a concentration camp by having skills. You had to be useful. Utility kept you alive.
We're also talking about middle schoolers here. And there's a lot of concern about what age people are prepared to understand complex issues. I'm not sure that 12 is the right age to start hearing things like, and when you were enslaved here in America.
What about gender?
They can learn about gender ideology?
They can cut off their doodads.
Her remark.
Yeah, the 12 is not a good age to do that, but by God, they can choose their gender, right? I mean, these people, I swear, it's unreal what they can cherry pick, right? How absurd is that?
I know. Well, and Jesse on his show also had the actual author, who is a Black man, one of the authors of the curriculum, on to completely rip Kamala and everybody else that's making these claims to shreds. And that will also be on our website at chicksontheright.com. Yeah. It is a must watch. It was way too long to even play here because it's like well over 8 minutes long, but it is phenomenal. And if you missed it, you got to see it.
And of course, Joy Reid is like going after anybody who's Black who supports this. They're just the most terrible people. They're not really Black.
I would love for her to say that to the author's face.
But see, that's the thing, is like they're highlighting those people because she was showing on her show, there was a Black woman who was in support of this. And then there were, anybody who is of, African-American descent who is for this, who thinks this is a good thing, of highlighting anything that is even in relation to this. It's just we have to shun you. You know what I mean? Like you can't talk about this. It's like, why not? And you know what? A 13-year-old would be able to digest this. And I have a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
I have a middle schooler. She would be able to see this and understand exactly what they're talking about. I mean, Jessica Tarlov obviously doesn't have a middle schooler. I do.
Right.
And she is smart enough to understand the concepts that are being presented here. Absolutely. She would be able to understand that. So she's wrong.
Well, and the other thing that cracked me up is that the folks on MSNBC are trying to position what Kamala said as her speaking from the heart. And it doesn't matter if it's true or not. This is Kamala in her sweet spot. Not making this up. Listen.
Mark, she was not scripted. She looked at the cameras and just said what was in her heart, and reminds you why she first came to prominence, and that's when she was ripping apart Trump's judges, and began, being the prosecutor that was really impressive. That's the kind of Kamala Harris we're now seeing. It's in her sweet spot, and for the administration to have her be able to do that while he stays focused on the economy, it's just perfect politics, Chris.
Tanya, like the president she serves, her approval rating is underwater. In fact, anywhere from 10 to 12 points in the most recent poll. Again, very similar to the president. But do you agree with the group she's going in front of, the message that she's giving? Is Kamala Harris in her sweet spot, Tanya?
I do agree with that. I feel
yeah, her sweet spot is lying and calling everybody racist, right? That's perfect politics right there.
Yep. That's her sweet spot.
Okay. All right. Well, we can see through it. Most of us can see through that. Yeah. And we've seen her for the past couple of years being the complete opposite of that, showing her true colors, and that's being a complete and total moron.
AOC, you guys all remember, we did a deep dive about the SAG not awards, but the Screen Actors Guild strike, the writer's strike, the actor's strike. It's still ongoing. I don't expect any immediate resolution. And so, oh no, that's very upsetting. So they're striking and they're picketing and they're doing this in a bunch of places, not the least of which is New York City. And so AOC heard, ooh, there's going to be like actors and other people like picketing. I must join them and make myself the center of attention.
I have to go there. If there's George Clooney, I have to go.
So not only did she go to participate in the picket line, she grabbed herself the megaphone and started speaking.
Hey, ho, ho.
Oh, you want a selfie with me? Okay, let's take a selfie.
Oh my God. I cannot. What a hag. Narcissist.
And frankly, while this is a fight against AI, more than AI, this is a fight against greed. This is a fight against Wall Street, and this is a fight against the endless pursuit of more wealth. How many private jets does David Zaslav need? For real. How many private jets do these CEOs need? It is insatiable. It is unacceptable. I do not know how any person can say, I need another $100 million before another person can have health care. Who does that? What level are we at right now? But the only way that we can bust this up is by giving these people in charge a reality check.
I mean, she is a hired actress, right? Let's get real. There is that group that, I can't remember the name of the group.
That's right. Maybe she is in SAG.
I feel like she was that's just my opinion. I feel like AOC was designed by that. I can't remember the name of the group, but there is some liberal group that was like, we're going to go ahead and handpick her. And
was it Occupy Democrats? Was that?
I don't know. It may have been Occupy Democrats. There's a group that put her, that just sort of handpicked her, and they said, we're going to go ahead and put you in this position.
Yeah.
And so I feel like she is, in essence, she's an actress. She's a freaking actress is what she is. So actually she belongs there with those people who pretend to be somebody else, because that's in essence what she is. At her very core, she is an actress. She's probably going to win an Oscar one day. She fits in with those people beautifully.
Mm-hmm. Also, because I always have to have a dose of trans-tasticness.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
There was a guy whose video was going around social media yesterday, and he's not a guy. He's a biological female, pregnant apparently, but also injecting lots of testosterone, because why wouldn't you do that when you're carrying another human? Why wouldn't you just like poison your body with hormones that don't belong there? Anyway, so this is a biological female, apparently pregnant, who is complaining about being misgendered at the OB office. And this becomes important because of the following video that I want to show you of the same individual. We'll start with the complaining.
Why, in the year 2023, doctors are still forcing their trans patients to sit there and misgender themselves multiple times over and fucking over again to satiate their confusion and curiosity, and how they seem to just not be able to understand how I said I take testosterone because I am transgender, my body doesn't produce its own, and then later saying how, like, referencing my pregnancy,
oh my God,
this and that, and she just,
oh my God, this person
didn't get it. Just didn't fucking get it. Just had to like really drill it in that she was confused, despite the fact that I said I am transgender. I take testosterone. Listen to.
Okay, so
this person, you're saying this person is pregnant? I'm so confused. Okay.
That is correct.
All right. There's more of this human.
Well, I just want, because then of course I am a masochist, as you know. So I immediately was like, I got to see more from this weirdo. And so I found this other video of the same person. Now, so the overarching message of that last video that you just watched is of that person being mad about other people's confusion.
Yeah,
right?
I'm confused.
As you should be, because we are normal. And so super angry. She's super angry. She's a pregnant testosterone taking weirdo who's very angry that people don't understand innately what she's doing to her body and her mental weirdness. So keeping in mind that she's mad about our confusion, then I saw this.
The thing about gender and sexuality is that it's all fucking made up, and you can change your mind whenever the hell you want. Literally whenever you want. I first transitioned at 14. So I have been literally every single combination of gender and sexuality there is, aside from trans women. I just can't be a trans woman. That's just impossible for me. It's not, I don't think I'm equipped for that. But I've been every combination of gender and sexuality. I've changed my labels so many times. I thought I was done. I finally landed. I am a queer trans man. Well, you know what? I'll fucking do it again. Hi, I'm Leaf. I'm non-binary.
Oh my God, this person.
16 years secure in my gender and in my transition. But as it turns out, I transitioned at a time when there was just not as much information available. And guess what? I've learned and I've grown since then. So hello, I am Leaf. You can call me Kane. Still, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But I like Leaf a whole lot.
This person is having a baby. So this is the thing. And you know, the people on the left, like I think I said this yesterday, people on the left would be like, this stuff isn't happening. You know, these weirdos don't exist. Like people on the right are always talking about all these weirdos exist. These people are mentally ill. Like there needs to be a place for these people. And that child has no business being raised by that human.
Or poisoned with a hormone that shouldn't be in that body.
Yeah. And nobody's saying anything about that. Like nobody cares. People are just like, you do you. I mean, that's great. I mean, it's like, my God, people are taken out of homes for less than what you just saw on the screen.
And another common comment that I see whenever conservatives criticize craziness like this, they'll be like, why do you care so much about what genitalia someone has? And my answer to that is always, why do they care so much to tell me about it? Why are they constantly wanting to talk about it?
Exactly. They're like on TikToks, they're on social media. And then meantime, listen, the thing that bothers me the most is that individual is pregnant. Yeah. And there's going to be a child that it has to take care of.
Yeah. And it has to be raised by that person.
And raise. Yeah. And then what's that kid going to be like? That's what bothers me the most. It's not so much that person is mentally ill. It's that there is a child.
Yeah. Isn't that just can
yes.
you imagine the audacity of her being angry at other people's confusion
not
and then being
understanding.
like, I'm going to change it up. I change it up all the time. I can change it as much as I want. And it's up to us to keep up with that? No. No.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. It's like we need to call this what it is. It's mental illness.
Oh my God.
It's
by the way,
just-
I'm going to also post on our website today. I saw another video of one of these weirdos who is so weird that she wants to just chop off one boob. She wants to have one boob so that like she's half woman and half, like, you know what I mean? Like she's
it's
this is mental.
Right. These are mentally ill people, and we need to start treating them as mentally ill people and calling it out as that. I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of everybody telling me that I have to accept. No, that person that we just saw is mental.
Yeah. And now it's like they're all in this competition to see who can get the weirdest and most deviant. So like there's this other dude who is 100% male, but has decided to chop off all of his dangly danglies, and he's had a fake vagina put on him, like surgically, and wants to stay male. And so I'm just like, what is even like, it's one thing to just want to trans from one thing to the other. That's already messed up enough.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? That's just nothing but like, I want to be crazy and I want to be known for being crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My God. Anyway,
now
it's time for whack.
Yeah. Now it's time for whack, you guys. I mean, it pales in comparison. But my whack is Snow White. They're redoing Snow White because listen, we got to take all the stuff now that from our past and destroy it.
Because Snow White was really sexist, I guess.
You know what? I'm so sick of this generation taking all of our stuff and just come up with your own shit.
Well, they are. They're now men with vaginas, so
I guess, but they're not actually coming up with new stuff. They're taking all of our stuff, like all of the boomer and the Gen X stuff, and then they're destroying it.
Yeah.
And they need to stop. They just need to stop doing that. It's like, if you have no originality, then just don't do anything. You know, but of course they're taking Snow White and they're like, well, we're going to go ahead and just redo it for this generation, which is precisely so we have a video on that.
You were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Snow White is running for president.
I'm launching my campaign. Yeah.
Yeah. I swear. And at 2, Gal Gadot or whatever her name is.
Gadot.
I don't know, whatever her name is. Wonder Woman. I mean, seriously? Why? Does she play
does she play like the Wicked Witch or something?
She's probably the evil queen or whatever that is.
Whatever that character
Snow
is.
White. Yeah.
You know what?
I hate Disney too. I hate
it. Sounds like it would probably be a really good movie if it was a new movie. Like maybe they could if that was a storyline they wanted to have that was new, fine. But why do it at the expense of the historical, traditional, lovely story that we all know?
Well, it's kind of like they redid Cinderella recently, like probably in the past 4 or 5 years. And it was fine. It was it was a great movie. It was fine because they stuck to the storyline and it was beautiful and the costuming was beautiful and I really liked it. I absolutely loathe Disney too, Lori. I loathe it. I mean, I just cannot stand it. And now it's just becoming worse and worse and worse. And I hope it implodes. Seriously. And anyway, I have a second part of whack. I saw this yesterday. This
is so amazing.
Guys, it's another Hollywood thing. It's Stephen King tweeted this yesterday. Stephen King.
Imagine tweeting that unironically.
He tweeted this on purpose with purpose, and he wasn't even kidding. He tweeted this, you guys. From Don Jr.'s house. He tweeted this. And then people were like,
how? There's never been a story about Don Jr. and drugs.
No, but he believes this in his brain. And the thing that sucks is that Stephen King is a pretty brilliant guy. I mean, he's written a lot of think of the stuff that this guy has written. Like Road to Perdition, Shawshank. Yeah, I mean,
Green Mile.
Right. Good stuff. He's written some good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he puts that up. It's like, what? Like, but these people believe that. That's who we're dealing with on a daily basis. Yeah.
Yeah, there were probably responses to that were like, yeah, great meme. Well, you don't even need a meme with Hunter. You can literally grab any photo from his own laptop of him literally smoking crack.
He is
we
on
don't
blow.
need a hyena meme. Okay, we got the real thing.
I know. This is
God.
It just is unreal how they are they're in such denial.
Yeah.
About the Biden family. They're like la 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 la. They just don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe that these people are actual criminals. God bless them, right?
Incredible. You guys, reminder that we're still in the throes of celebrating the 20th anniversary of MyPillow, and you can help us celebrate by supporting them and getting yourself something amazing from mypillow.com/chicks, whether it's a new mattress pad, whether it's a dog bed, which their dog beds are the bomb.
They are pretty awesome.
They're so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's a pair of amazing moccasins that have the fur on the inside of them,
the towels are so amazing. I love the towels.
And the towels, I mean, are you kidding? Right now, the queen size MyPillow is just $19.98. And you can get all these huge discounts when you go to mypillow.com/chicks and you use code chicks. That's when you're going to see the deepest discounts on all of the things that you know and love from MyPillow. So please use the discount liberally. It is time for some MyPillow talks. And what do I have for you today? First, unfortunately, I'll just start off with a very upsetting story. And this comes from one of the guys I follow that's usually hilarious, right? I go to him for comedy. He has just faced the situation. What was that Netflix show that you just made me watch not long ago about the mom who ended up ending her own life because of the accusations of being a Munchausen lady?
Take care of oh God.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. What is the name of the show?
Have you guys seen that show? It's like a true story of a mom.
Take Care of Maya.
Take Care of Maya.
Take Care of Maya. You guys. Yes. I think that's the name of it. It's something like Take Care of Maya. It's so good. You guys, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Oh my God.
So upsetting.
Yeah.
And so and the story essentially is of how dangerously over-involved medical practitioners can be in accusing you of abusing your own child, even when you are seeking medical care for that child. Well, this guy who I follow again for comedy, this has now happened to him. And this is an amazing story. And I just wanted to share it because everybody needs to know how much power these people have over possibly taking your kids away from you. Horrific. Listen.
As a quick update, yesterday we took our son to a urgent care facility called Children's Health PM Urgent Care in Flower Mound for a fever that had been persisting for a few days. The doctor sat with us for a few minutes, literally a few minutes, and said it could be anything. You should take him to the ER, get blood work done, get x-rays done, get a urinalysis done to rule out pneumonia, blood infection, UTI. And my wife and I were not satisfied with the level of care, and I let her know that. 3 hours later, Child Protective Services was knocking on our door because they filed a complaint against us for medical negligence. The interesting part of the story is that the facility claimed that they informed us that Rowan was extremely dehydrated and they advised us to go to the ER for fluids, and that never happened. Visual inspection from the CPS lady obviously saw a not tragically ill baby, and she even went as far as to say that she was expecting to see a severely ill child. Sat with us for about 15 minutes before she left, told us to take the weekend and we could be in touch on Monday. In regard to getting a lawyer to act fast, I've had a couple conversations already today, and I am fucking flabbergasted that they have told me that there is nothing that I can do. Yes, there is nothing that I can do. A doctor can fabricate and be vile and evil and make a false accusation.
Right.
But there is nothing that I can do. And obviously I'm not accepting that. That's not in my 2023 vision board to accept people trying to hurt my family. So I will continue to push through by any way that I can, even if it's just this platform that can band together and just see where this takes us. But I'm going to continue to have conversations with lawyers. I made it very clear. Money is not my motive, although that's what little Wayne would say. My motive is to hang this woman's doctor's license in my bedroom because she will no longer be able to practice medicine. That's the mission. I really appreciate the outpouring of support. That facility has already deleted all of the Google reviews that were left, including my own. I would say don't leave Google reviews on there because mine got deleted and they may have thought that one was also fake. So I just posted a new Google review with my update. So you guys just watch from afar, but I want to do this the right way because I have receipts and I'm willing to fight. If she is this brazen to do it like this, it tells me she's done it before and she's going to do it again.
Right.
And all I have to say is not up in here. Not up in here.
Yeah, this is the thing. They get butthurt, right? You give them some bad feedback. These doctors, man, and it's a lot of these new doctors, a lot of these younger doctors, that get out of med school. You give them some bad feedback. They can't freaking handle it. Yeah. And then they're like, well, I'm just going to ruin you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have your kid taken away. This is what's happening.
It's absolutely incredible. If you are on TikTok, this account name is BoldFam, BoldFam. Please go to his account and share all of his videos about this because people have got to know that this is not a weird outlying thing that can happen.
It's not fluky.
And what you didn't hear in this video, because I've watched like his whole story about this, after they went to that, whatever that facility was, immediately they also went to another one because they were not content with the treatment that they got at that first facility. So they went to a second one where they were like much more helpful and they spent lots of time with them and actually, helped their child. And so he kept all the receipts of that. He wasn't neglecting her. He was unhappy and unsatisfied with the original care. So that should help his case a ton that they immediately took her somewhere else. But the fact that this happened at all, like, can you imagine just the terror of having CPS show up at your house like that? Yep. I cannot imagine.
Yeah, it's insanity.
Infuriating.
And then the take care of Maya, like, that woman, she had her child taken away because of a sickness that was real. And they were saying that it was Munchausen by proxy. And the woman, the mother ended up killing herself because she didn't see her daughter for over like 3 or 4 months.
They had her like as a prisoner in that
hospital. She wasn't allowed to see her daughter. This is the power that the medical industry has. This is the power that the government has over your family, and people have no idea about it. And the worst part about this is that in watching that documentary, you find out that this is not the only family. This has happened to so many families across the country. Like, people were coming out of the woodwork going, this happened to me, this happened to me, this happened to me. I mean, and then you try to fight it. You don't have money to fight these things. Like, people have to lawyer up. You know how much lawyers cost? Jeez. Yeah. I mean, it's like people have to fight these gigantic conglomerates, these medical conglomerates, to try to like either get their kids back or just fight the healthcare system in general. It's insane. Like, people go bankrupt. They lose their entire life savings just trying to fight to get their kids back.
And wasn't the maestro, that was at a Johns Hopkins, right? Like, that was at a super reputable
Johns Hopkins
hospital network.
It took them years after the mother killed herself. It took the family years just to try to like fight that and try to get some sort of closure. And I think that they finally reached some sort of closure.
I think it's ongoing because there's something that's going to happen next year. I think, if I remember correctly,
it's insane. But those kids will never have their mother. They will never get their mother back. I mean, their lives have never been the same. They ruined that family. They ruined it. It's unreal. Yeah.
Just horrible. Anyway, BoldFam. So please go look at all of his videos about this and share them because people need to know that this is going on.
Yeah.
All right. So I know that started with a downer, but we'll bring the room back to a more peppy place. So I don't remember what this video is about, but I saved it for a reason, and so I'm sure it's great. Oh yeah, now I do.
Oh my God, it looks like a bunch of chicken nuggets.
I'm super tired or I'm super hungry because I thought that was fried chicken.
Yes.
And you thought that was chicken too.
I did.
We're friends now.
We're friends.
Give me a follow.
We're totally friends. We're so friends.
It does look like fried chicken.
Oh my God. It looks like fried chicken. Oh my God. We're so friends.
We're absolutely friends.
I'm hungry too.
Oh yeah. And then this one is a total mock joke. So this is, that this is a joke I would tell, and I would recreate this in a minute.
Oh my God, it's really muggy today.
That is so something that you would do.
Right? It's so muggy.
It's so muggy. And she would laugh for like an hour. She laughed at that.
Oh my God. I love
For an
that
hour.
so much.
Uh-huh.
I love that so much. If you are a normal person, that means that you hate scammers. You hate the fake emails from the Nigerian princes. You hate like the fake alerts from Facebook, or like the, they make it look like it's Facebook telling you that you've been banned or whatever. I hate scammers so much. And so when somebody takes the time to actually scam the scammers, it's my most favorite thing. And so this guy had a really fantastic text exchange with a scammer, and it went like this.
Hello, we recently noticed a suspicious sign-in attempt to your Wells Fargo account. Please reply with your username and password to receive assistance. My username is HobbitFeet4269 and my password is BumpsOnMyButtock711. We are sorry, but the username and password you entered is incorrect. Since this is our mistake, we will be issuing you a one-time payment of $500 to your Wells Fargo account. However, we need the correct login information to do so. $500? Wow, I thought this was a scam. I'll give you my real information now. We are waiting patiently. My name isn't Lee. Is this a scam? No, we are waiting for your login information with great patience. You're so close to spelling that word right. I'll give you one more shot. Send the login information now or you will not receive the $600 gift from us. I don't think you have $500 before. Wow, you are so generous and patchy-nest in dealing with me. We will no longer be panchy-anxious with you. Send login information now. Fine, my username is TickleMeElmo777 and my password is Con Artists are the scum of the earth 989. I am not scum, you scum. LOL, you just admitted you're scamming me. Send correct login info now. You're very demanding. I wish you were more panini tense. Like the video for more. Hello, we recently noticed a
Oh my God, panini tense. That's my new favorite word, panini tense.
I love that so much.
I'm going to tell my kid to be panini tense with me. Just be panini tense with mommy. Be panini tense.
Love it. Also, I
So
meant to show
great.
this yesterday. This precious, precious little monkey who just wants himself a scritch scratch.
Oh no!
How do you not want this monkey? Oh my gosh!
Please scratch.
Oh, it feels so good. Oh yeah, right there, right there.
Oh my God!
Look at his little
He kind of
face.
looks like George Carlin, doesn't he? A little bit, you guys. A little bit.
Oh my God, he's so
He
cute.
looks like a really hairy George Carlin, doesn't he?
Isn't he sweet?
He is really
Okay.
sweet. Yeah,
Very,
until he
very
rips your genitals off. He's sweet.
Also, you have to see what happens when greyhounds are exposed to new flooring.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
They're just like, no, I don't belong here anymore.
God bless them. It's kind of like stairs. If they've never been exposed to stairs,
Yeah.
we had our son's German Shepherd.
That's
for like 10
my
months.
Ella dog doesn't understand stairs.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause you have a one story.
Yeah.
And so if they've never been exposed to it, it took us like 4 days to get that dog to go down the stairs.
It's
It
so
was a
true.
nightmare. Yeah.
Well,
It is pretty funny.
and our dog sitter that we use has stairs, and so she has to help Ella go up and down the stairs because not only does she not have experience with stairs, but she's almost 14, so
Right.
she doesn't move quite as well as
Uh-huh.
she used to. So it's
Yeah.
I mean it's a thing.
It
It's
is a thing.
It's a thing. And then lastly, I have cats. Cats doing all kinds of hilarious things. Now, this
Love
is like a montage, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on in this, and I died laughing at some of the ones that hit right out of the gate. So just watch.
No? You're not gonna react? Oh.
Stop it. No. Murphy.
I need a cat. I totally need a cat. Oh my God.
Mikey's a bitch.
Cats get the zoomies too. Yeah.
He doesn't like the balloons when they're up.
He's going in.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
Those are your talks for today.
I need a cat, you guys. I need one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely need another animal in your house. That's what you need.
Just not a monkey. I need another animal, just not a monkey.
You know what? You should really consider a wallaby, for real.
God, I can't.
They're so soft and sweet and gentle and chill.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they?
Yes, they really are. You should totally get a wallaby.
You guys, we should bring it in before she convinces me to get a wallaby. You want to get up?
I feel like I could convince you.
Come on, come here and see everybody. He doesn't have his collar on because he got a bath the other day, so I have to.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, he's so soft. He's so soft and snuggly. Oh, there are the flaps. There they are.
There it is.
Say, I'm so clean and snuggly. Oh,
now
so
I can have a good day. Now everybody can have a good day.
Great day because you guys got flaps. He's so happy to be here. Yeah.
Anyway, don't forget, you guys, check the website for the clip about the climate with the climate change lady.
Yes.
The clip of Jesse Waters hosting that Black scholar who wrote the Florida curriculum, and then also the crazy weirdo that only wants one boob. All of that coming at you at chicksontheright.com.
And there's going to be more stuff too. I just have no idea what I'm writing yet. No idea. Mock gets up a little bit earlier and like has all these things in her brain. So yes.
Well, and I didn't write it all yesterday and I felt bad, but I had a day.
It was a day yesterday. Yeah, she didn't write, but we'll forgive her. It's totally fine. Yes, there's some stuff. There's some other stuff out there. So you guys check it all out. chicksontheright.com. We will talk to you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day today.
Bye.
Bye.